Hey YouTube, it's Pete Two Finger. We just got back from Summit, Illinois. Our visit to El Farol, the burrito joint in Summit. Used to be across the street from El Famous, which is no longer there. There was a couple of clone joints that popped up in that immediate area that are also gone. El Farol has not changed, although the prices have went up. It was $8 for my combo burrito, which would have been 7 if I just would have gotten either pork or steak, but I wanted a combo, which really, I gotta tell you, they kind of shorted me on the meat this time. It was nothing to write home about. My complaints on this was portion and the tomatoes. They gave me large pieces of hard tomatoes. Not really, they didn't seem that ripe, although they were flavorful. But there was, like if you took a tomato, cut it up into slices, and then cut those in half. And I mean, that's the way they do it there. I wish they would reduce the tomato. The tomato for me is good if it's served in small pieces, not a giant chunk of tomato. So I remove it and pick it up and nibble on it in between bites. You know, the pop is the same. It's the same flat tasting RC, which is way too sweet. Although they have gotten rid of the sizes, it's now $2 for what used to be known as a medium, or is it a large? It's like a maybe 16-ounce cup. It's not, they used to have a 22 or 32 ounce, like an extra large, and we could get that, and it would be no problem for both of us to share that. It would be enough pop to where we would be in the car on the way home finishing up the last few sips, and you need it at Burritoville. Now Donna, my wife, likes to have
my tacos.
Two steak tacos, flour shell,
flour tortilla,
cheese only. And what that means is
gringo or a gringa.
Gringa, yeah. It's meat and cheese. When I say cheese only, I don't mean cheese only. I mean cheese, meat, and tortilla. And how were they?
Very good.
They look good. They look like they gave you a really good amount of meat.
Yes.
You only had one of them.
I only ate one.
Yeah, she only had
I
one.
would have regretted.
Which really, I'm telling you, that's really the way to go at Burritoville, is just get a couple tacos. You eat 2 of those tacos, you're going to be full. I always end up getting a burrito. This one had a, like, if we're talking about a regular spoon like you use to eat cereal, like a small spoon, it had about 1.5 or 2 of those orange grease came out of it, because it was a pork combo, and that pork is orange sauce that it's in, which is mostly oil. So it wasn't exceptionally oily. Like sometimes you'll get one where you'll bite into it and immediately the oil will run down and start dripping off of your elbow, and that's when I'm like. The other thing is the nerves. There'll be a piece of meat which they call the nerves, and it will be very tough. You can't chew it. And I've been known to get up to 3 of those nerves. Typically, if you get 3, you did something to piss them off. Anyway, I had one nerve in my burrito today. I didn't eat all of the tortilla. Like there's a section of it where there's like a big massive tortilla, and I'll rip some of that out. I really just don't feel like having that much bread with the deal. And there's something about like the last quarter of it where it's just not very, where it's kind of cold and the grease is starting to congeal. I got a combo. They put hardly any steak on my burrito. It was mostly pork, but the pork was really good. It had that crunchy snap to it when they fry it on the griddle. That I don't know, the beef doesn't do that. But if you've ever had a combo, you'll know they're really delicious, and that having just the steak or just the pork on its own, it just doesn't work. You gotta have the combo. That's where it's at. So other than the thing with the tomatoes, now I get mine no beans. At times I'll say no beans. Other times you can say that and they'll short sheet you. They'll give you a small burrito. Like, oh, you ordered no beans? Okay. Well, you're not getting anything extra to fill it up. You're getting a small burrito. And that seemed like what they did today. I shouldn't have said no beans. We got there was one guy in front of me, a worker, a Mexican guy speaking in Spanish who took an incredible amount of time. And there was so much back and forth going on between him and the woman at the cash register. I thought he was trying to purchase the entire business. And he actually just got a little bit of food and a drink. And while we were waiting, a woman and her daughter burst in and stampeded past us and went and got their order served.
It was like
they had called for a pickup, so they cut in front of us. And then when I was standing, leaning up against a pole to get our food, she came walking up and stood basically on me, which I don't expect to
Hey,
see.
social distance. Supposed to be social distancing.
I don't expect to see any proper COVID protocols at El Farol at the Wild Burrito, and it turned out that everyone behind the counter was wearing masks. The woman who was doing the orders did not have a mask, but they had a huge plexiglass or some kind of real thin plastic see-through wall. And they have a little slot cut out for the money that she squeezed our drink through that slot, which was amazing that she did that. So yeah, it's the same place. They still
the customers didn't. Most of the white people didn't have masks on.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Some did. But
It's still the same place. They give you the exact amount of napkins unless you ask for extra napkins. The hot sauce was green. It was thick and really good. I love that green salsa that they serve there. It's homemade. Really good stuff. They gave us 2 bindles of tinfoil full of the peppers and onions, which I did not get into those. They started fermenting the onion or letting the onion rot and grow this mold, and that gives a unique flavor to that the flavor of mold. And I don't care for it. I really don't. I really don't like that. So I didn't bear to open it up and see, and we should probably get. Did you put that stuff in the fridge?
yes.
That's got to go.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my review of El Farol. It's the same place. It has not changed. You're going to go. You're going to get a really good one. You're going to get a so-so one, and you could even get a bad one that's full of those nerves, that's hastily prepared, that's not properly proportioned, and it'll have some tomatoes that are sour in it. My recommendation is always just get a steak burrito. Don't no beans them. I did that today and I forgot to take my own advice that, hey, if you no bean them, they're thinking, no beans, huh? Okay. You know, like that's all I ate when I lived in Michoacan or wherever they came from was beans. So you're better than me? You don't want these beans? Okay. I'll dig those 3 tomatoes out that I know that are left over from 6 weeks ago and put them in your burrito. I'll find those 3 piles of nerves, and that's what you're getting for your meat. So you just gotta kind of use your noggin and smile, speak clearly and directly, and look them in the eye when you order. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't $20 worth of food. You know, it was like $17.83 for us to eat at Burritoville. And with the way our economy's going, I just don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to be good. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. And don't get me wrong. I hate to complain. I know how lucky I am to have El Farol, but it's not what it used to be. It used to be affordable still, and now it's $8 for a burrito. I'm not going to be going there like I used to. You know. Sorry, El Farol, you lost me. You had me, and you lost me.